My name is Julie Hatcher, and I'm from Overland Park, Kansas. I've been a victim of family court injustice, criminal court, municipal court. The family court came into my home through SRS. In July of 2009, they came into my home and took my son from me. I had just returned from a hospital stay for heart failure, being told that I would never make it home alive. My mother had passed away the month before. They removed my son and placed him in a foster home where the foster mother had the children calling her Nana. They have taught him that people come and go out of his life, and that if somebody passes away, he can always get a new one. He on a regular basis tells me that if I want a new mom, all I have to do is call SRS and they'll give me a new one like they gave him a new grandma. He was 5 years old, scheduled to go into the 6th grade, and when they took him, they put him in a daycare system with 2-year-olds for a year. When he came back to us, he's unable to read, unable to write. He's repeated kindergarten 3 times. He's repeated the 1st grade 2 times. They got me kicked off of the heart transplant list by having him in the daycare system. Being around all of the germs, I was unable to have the transplant and survive. During his time away from us in the daycare system, I contracted the strep throat from him 3 times. And to someone who has a depressed immune system, that can be deadly. To others, it's not such a dangerous disease. While he was in the care of KVC, he was under their psychological evaluation and treatment for the trauma from being removed. During that time, they implanted into him that he had been sexually abused by his father. We have since found out that he has been sexually abused, but not by his father. We had to sign a deal saying that we were unfit parents because during the fight, which went on for a year, they told our son on a regular basis, "You'll go home at the end of the week," and he never did. Finally, they told us if we went ahead and gave them something, meaning admitting to the petition that we were unfit parents, they would send him home. Our representatives appointed by the court felt that that was the best option for us to get our son home. At that point in time, we just wanted our son home so our family could heal, so we signed it. So now we're admitted child abusers, even though the only thing that was wrong was our home was not clean enough for them. They sent in a company called DECA to help us clean, but they didn't do anything. SRS took the child out of the home. He was out of the home 6 days a week, but he visited during the day, and the 7th day he was with them 24 hours. We paid $600 a month in child support. I get disability of $600. They didn't care. The foster mother was getting food stamps, she was getting a clothing allowance, she was getting a homing allowance, and she also got special allowances because he was supposed to be on a special diet due to his liver. He has liver trouble since birth. They gave him candy and soda and fried foods and things that we told them not to give him to assist in his liver staying as healthy as possible. We also had other directives for them, and they did not listen to them at all. When he came back to us, he came back to us in the state of a bloated, overweight, liver-failed with diabetes child. That's not what they took out of the home. His behavior is completely different. Most people who knew him prior to being removed have said that's not the same little boy that was taken. We on a continual basis have to argue and remind him, you can't go back to Nana, you have to stay with us. The courts that did this were in Johnson County. The judge was Kathleen Sloan. Since that time, we did go to Topeka to testify against SRS and make them look him in the face and tell him why he couldn't come home. They finally returned him after a newspaper article was done on how much we were paying and that he was with us 6 days a week and why were we paying $600 a month. The judge returned him to us when she received a copy of that newspaper article and our criminal complaint filed in the Netherlands at the International Criminal Court. We have since been harassed by law enforcement. We continually get pulled over and ticketed for very small things like seatbelt infractions, even though we're wearing seatbelts. We have an older car, and so they say they can't see them, and since they pulled us over, they'll go ahead and give us the ticket. We are continually badgered by the DA's office. They have shut down our business that we had. They have gotten previous clients of ours to testify who have never come to us and said they had any problem. They said we committed fraud. They held hearings. They scheduled them, had the other parties there, but never told us when they were ruled against us and got a $2 million judgment. They've bankrupted us. They've tore our family apart, and they offer no services to reunify. We've gone and created a site called cpsvictims.ning.com, and on that alone, which is a very, very small percentage across the U.S., but some horror stories nonetheless, we have 140 members right now, and they are currently trying to charge me with UPL because I will give a Title 42 sample to someone to write up or give them an outline so they can get their story out. I will give them an affidavit sample so that they can file that in their case so that the truth doesn't get erased. They are threatening me with jail, even though I have heart failure, liver failure, pancreatic failure, kidney failure by their hands for unauthorized practice of law. Unauthorized practice of law is nothing more than I didn't go to the Bar Association and ask them if I could do what I'm doing. And I don't participate in their little group, but I do hold a bar card. But for them, it's not good enough.